Good morning. Today is June 1st of 2026. Who would have thought that we're already halfway through the year? For those who are new here, I am Misty. I am a breast cancer survivor, and I am married to a recovering addict. My husband's been to prison. Read the bio, it's all in there. Anyway, I am making this video today because when my husband was in treatment, I started going to Al-Anon meetings. And Al-Anon meetings were for family members and stuff that have been, basically it's a support group for family members of people in addiction or alcoholism. Mainly alcoholism, but it covers a lot of it. But I went to it even though it was mainly for that. But anyway, I haven't read a reading in a very long time. Normally I mark it, and I have not marked it. And my husband, he's been working a lot, and we normally do our morning readings together, but since he's working a 12-hour shift, I figured I'd do it with you. So today is June 1st. This book is Courage to Change. Now, I got this book at an Al-Anon meeting, and I have another one too. It's called Hope for Today. I will do readings in a separate video for that. Let's see. If you have not been to an Al-Anon meeting and you are if you're in a relationship with an alcoholic or a recovering addict or an active alcoholic or addict, I really highly recommend Al-Anon. They're really good meetings. Sometimes they're hard to find because they're not really publicly posted. You gotta realize, it's basically like word of mouth, because the anonymity, whatever you want to call it. Okay, June 1st, which is a short reading. A long time member says, an expectation is a premeditated statement. I take this statement to suggest that when I have a resentment, I can look to my expectations for a probable source. Here's an example. I have a brother who is less attentive to being prompt than I am. When I make a plan with him that involves meeting at a certain time, I am cooperating in establishing conditions that encourage me to nurse a resentment. On the other hand, when I make a plan with my brother that is based on no expectations of promptness, I feel no resentment. Today's reminder: I have the right to choose my own standards of conduct, but I do not have the right or the power to impose those standards on others. Underneath it has I would say it's quoted, I have accepted myself, and I am beginning to accept other people the way they are each day. Now I have fewer resentments. Living with sobriety. I think that is something that I need to do, because when you tell me something, I expect it. And I tend to hold a lot of resentments. Like, if you tell me, Misty, we're going to dinner tonight, and then we don't go to dinner tonight, like, it really, I develop a sort of resentment when it comes to that, because I get my hopes up. And I guess I gotta try to find a fine line. I gotta try to find a way not to get my hopes up about that. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that is something that I need to work on for me. But this book right here, like I said, I think I paid like $14 for this book. It's Courage to Change. one day at a time, and Al-Anon too. What was I gonna say? But if you were in a relationship with an alcoholic or recovering alcoholic or addict or recovering addict, I highly recommend Al-Anon. It really helped me through a lot of times, because sometimes when you're in a relationship with somebody like that, or even if you have a family member that's involved with that, sometimes you feel like you don't, like nobody understands. And that's how I felt a lot of the time. Like, I just felt like I was the only one going through that, even though clearly other people were. It didn't feel like other people were. I felt like I was all alone. And it gave me a reason to get out of the house, a reason to get away from the situation. And while he was going through his recovery, I was doing my own form of recovery. Even though I've never been addicted to alcohol or drugs, but I was, you kind of get addicted to the chaos that comes from, or at least I did. Excuse me, addicted to the chaos that comes from your loved one. Even though you don't realize it, that it's an addiction. I honestly did. I got addicted to it, and but that really helped a lot, having somebody, support group to go to, and know that, like, I don't even remember what days they're even on. There's only a few around here where I live at, but just to have know that I have other people to talk to about these things, and know that it's not going any further. That was really nice. And you develop, new friendships and friendships, I should say, with people, and it's nice to know that you're not alone, and it does something for you to know that you're not alone, and that you've got somebody else out there. And it's sad, because to know that somebody else is going through it too, but addiction and alcoholism is it's really bad. It's really bad compared to the way it was when, the fact that there's even addiction or alcoholism is bad, but it's like where I live at, it's like it's taken over. It's insane. And it's just really, really sad, because there's a lot of grandparents raising their grandchildren because their kids are are alcoholic. Well, not honestly, I can't even say alcoholics. A lot of it is the addiction part. They're addicted, and alcoholism is, I to me, is an addiction. But I feel like it's just on a rise, because there's like grandparents raising their grandkids. I remember one time I went to a mommy and me thing. My daughter was in at Head Start where we live, and I went with my daughter, and there was a little girl there, and she was just so sad, and because her mom was supposed to show up and she never did. But there was quite a few grandmothers there with the grandkids. There was actually a couple grandma and grandpas that was there with their granddaughters, or their grandchild in general. And the little girl, we let her come sit with us because she was sad. Her mom wasn't there, and she said, I said, "What's wrong, honey?" And she said, "My mom's not here." My mom said that she would make sure she'd be here today. And so me and my daughter, we let her come over and have mommy and me with us. That way she wasn't alone, and she felt included, and to help with the hurt that she was having in that moment. So it's just sad. And it wasn't, mom never showed up because mom just forgot. Mom showed up because, come to find out, mom was in her addiction. And that's sad, because it's not just the person in the addiction that's suffering. Your parents are suffering, everybody around you suffers, and then you got your little babies with times like that, the things that don't remember, and all they're going to remember out of it is not a good memory. They're going to remember the fact that you weren't there, and that's really sad. But anyway, My name is Misty, and I plan on starting this a series of reading this book. I also have another book for today. This is All on Al-Anon, also an Al-Anon book. Like I said, Al-Anon is supposed to like really be for family and friends of alcoholics, but to me now, like from the Al-Anon meetings I've been to, it's mainly been they incorporate alcohol and drugs. It's not just alcohol anymore, and that's awful. So don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about, you know, living and being married to a recovering addict and stuff, just leave it down in the comments. I will try to find a link for this book. It's a really great book. You read one reading a day. Every day has its own reading. And it's a really great book to read and, you know, to start your day off with. But please don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Have a blessed day.